Hello, family. This is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to another episode of Momentum Mondays. This is an opportunity where I can get you fired up, stirred up, and ready to go. We are winding down and winding down 2021 and winding up for 2022. And you know that I love the word transformation. And the word transform means to make a thorough, dramatic change in character, form, or appearance. And then, I break that word transform down to trans, which is taking real people and navigating towards success. And form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. So I want us to just take a moment. We've been talking these last few weeks about thinking yourself into victory. But really, we've been talking about that all year because part of why I'm here on this earth is to help, to encourage, inspire, and illuminate other people so that they, you, and we can get ourselves into a place of victory. So I'd like for us just to take a few moments today and reflect back on some of the episodes that we've had this year. Enjoy. Hello, family. This is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to another episode of TNT Tuesday. Boom! This is where we are blowing it up around the conversation of transformation. Remember, when we talk about the word transformation, we break that down to the word transform. We know that transform means to make a thorough or dramatic change in character, form, or appearance. And then we broke the word transform down. We split that into two acronyms. So for trans, we are taking real people and navigating them towards success. And for form, it is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing our mind on the right mindset. So we have been in this same series for the last 2 months, thinking that leads to success. Why are we spending so much time on our thinking? Because as we've talked about and as we'll continue to talk about for this month, everything starts with the way that we think. So it's worth talking about that. So then last week we talked about excuse-free thinking. We do not want to give any time for us to make excuses. And today we're going to talk about see your thoughts as seeds. But before we do that, let's go back. I'm going to read to you the definition of the word thinking. It says, the process of using one's mind to consider a reason about something, using thought, a radical judgment. So our quote for today, it's by Louise Hay, and she said this: every thought we think is creating our future. That's powerful. Everything that it needs to begin with, it's within that seed. And then I want to read this. It says, it must be remembered that seeds are living organisms in a dormant stage. So we pick up seeds, we look at seeds, we chew seeds sometimes if we eat them in the fruit and we don't realize they're seed. All of these things with seeds. But every seed, lying within every seed, it says it lies a living organism in its dormant stage. So though it may not look like anything, there's life there. So we'll be coming from a new book for this month. This is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It's one of the classic books. One of my friends gave this to me. And we'll be reading from pages 11 to 12. And let's see what it says here. It says that aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all of his thoughts. As the plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of man springs from the hidden seeds of thought and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated, as to those which are deliberately executed. It says, act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own industry. So our final thoughts, when we're thinking about seeds and our thoughts, you want to think of this. Thoughts are seeds. Every thought that you take, they're seeds. Watered seeds, meaning when you keep thinking on those thoughts, good or bad, when you water them, watered seeds take root. And then rooted seeds spring forth. So thinking about your thoughts and your thinking, every thought that you take in, family, it's a seed. So if it's a great thought, great. If it's not, uproot it. Don't water it, because when you water it, it takes root. And when it takes root, it produces fruit. And we only want the fruit in our lives that's going to produce a good harvest. So our closing thought, our question, which seeds of your mind will you water this week? Hello, this is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to another episode of TNT Thursday. Boom! This is an opportunity where we are talking about how can we be people of influence. We want to make sure that we have transformed ourselves and continue to transform ourselves, and then go out and have an influence and an impact, first of all, in our own home, with our families, and our neighborhoods, on our jobs, in our communities, in our states, in this nation, in this world. We want to influence this world one person at a time. So last week we talked about get ant hill out of your thinking. Remember, the ant stands for automatic negative thoughts. So we're still on the series, thinking that leads to success. And our specific thought today is you become what you think. So we're still working with our same definition word, which is thinking. I'll read it to you. It is the process of using one's mind to consider or reason about something using thought or rational judgment. How many of you know that sounds like something we should all be doing? And then our quote is from Scotty Waves, and he says this: we are a product of our thoughts. So it makes me think about Earl Nightingale, which he was considered to be the grandfather of personal development. He has all sorts of literary work around personal development and why we need to do it and why we need to grow ourselves. And here's what he said: you become what you think about all day long. So again, we're from our same book, As a Man Thinketh. And this is from James Allen. Listen, go out and buy this book immediately. It's a game changer, a game changer. So today we'll be coming from pages 12 and 13. And it says this: man is a growth by law and not a creation by artifice. And cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as it is in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but it is the natural result of continued effort and right thinking, the effect of long cherished association with godlike thoughts. So those people who you see out there and you're like, oh my gosh, they just have favor, they're this. No, it's because they spent time on their thinking, according to what James Allen is saying, and that's why their lives is producing how it's producing. It says, an ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. I like his language. He says, man is made or unmade by himself. You are made or not made because of you. The same thing with myself. It says, in the armory of thoughts, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By the right choice and the true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. Now, we know that we can't be perfect, but just go with the thought. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is the maker and the master. So when we think of you become what you think, I want you to think about this notion of fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is I am how I am. I cannot change. This is how I was raised. And we don't even look for growth. People with a fixed mindset don't even try to change their thoughts. They just figure it is what it is. Then we have a growth mindset. It frees you to grow into your future. So when you believe that you can change, you believe that if you steward your thoughts, you're going to get better, that's called a growth mindset. Third point, believe it and you achieve it, good or bad. Whatever you believe, whatever you think on the most all day long, good or bad, you become what you think. So our question is, are you going to embrace the growth mindset in order to grow into the best version of you? I want you to be successful. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode, and be back with me next Monday for another review of Momentum Mondays. Take care.